So for my creative project, I decided to take on the role of a costume designer. So I decided to do three looks for three of the characters, and I did Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, and King Duncan. So I decided to go with the traditional um, time period from the play, from Shakespeare's play, because I wanted to challenge myself and see what I could learn about the costumes and if I could draw them, which I'm not the best artist. But so my first one, and probably the one I'm most proud of, is Lady Macbeth. And so this is how that one looks. I'm not good at drawing faces, so there are no faces. But the key things here are that most of the dresses of this time had two tunics. And so I have the red one and the overlying purple here. Another key aspect were a lot of the dresses had girdles, which was good for support and stability of the wearer, as well as adorning like ornamentation on the neckline up to the shoulders and on the wrists as well. And I drew the crown on her to indicate the power that they had towards the end of the play. Um, and I also added in the puffier sleeve, but it's characteristic to get tight down towards the wrists. So that was Lady Macbeth. For King Duncan, I decided to do more of a traditional king's look. So the main thing here is obviously the cloak. I decided to do the gold crown to indicate his status before he is murdered. I did a pattern because a lot of my research showed patterns on the cloaks that the kings and the people of kind of power were wearing. I didn't know how to draw any of that, so it's kind of an interesting pattern. And then I did kind of a sash type belt there, as well as a pointed leather shoe, which was kind of just becoming popular around this time, maybe even a little bit after this time. I used white and gold as kind of like pure colors of power as well. And then for Macbeth, I chose more of a commoner outfit rather than a king's outfit here. I did, the puffier pant with the tighter boot down here, as well as kind of like a puffier sleeve with the points on the shoulders, as well as a higher collar, which is characteristic, and kind of a cusp around the wrist there. And a belt as well around the waistline, which his body is not quite proportionate, but that's okay. And then for Lady Macbeth, I decided to use the colors of purple and red. The purple was indicative of royalty, and then I also chose the red to kind of hint at the bloodshed that her conspiracy to murder King Duncan, what that led to. So those were my designs, and my research composed a lot of different time periods similar to that. So I looked up a lot of the 11th century, kind of early Gothic, Elizabethan, medieval times, and I looked up a lot of men and women's clothing as well as king and queen's attire. And that is what led to this.